The Secretary of State confirms they will not be removing voter registrations for people with felony convictions. The decision, while the issue plays out in court. The Nebraska Board of Pardons was set to consider the issue next week, but they will now hold off since the Nebraska Supreme Court will hear this case this month.